Bismillah, wa salatu wa salam, ala rasulillah, amma ba'du. In this brief class, we were dealing with a brief explanation about the Eid, which will be coming up soon, inshallah ta'ala, from a Shaykh AL-FAWZAAN, Habibullah, in the book MALAKHAS al-FIQHEE, in the chapter of the Eid. The Shaykh started off, he said that the two Eids is the Eid-al-Fitr and Eid-al-Adha. He said these two Eids are legislated in the book of Allah and the Sunnah of His Messenger, in the Ijma' of the ulama, the consensus of the ulama. He said that the Mushrikeen have their day of the Eids, but Islam nullifies them, and they are replaced with the Eid-al-Fitr and Eid-al-Adha. And the Shaykh said that we should thank Allah Ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to perform these two tremendous days. And we should also thank Allah for fasting the month of Ramadan and making Hajj to the sacred house. So in this beginning part of the chapter, he's letting us know that we have two Eids, Eid-al-Fitr and Eid-al-Adha. And he's letting us know that, okay, the non-Muslims have their day of Eid, but we have our days which are better. And we should thank Allah for these 2 days. We shouldn't think that the celebration of the kuffar is superior than the celebration of the Muslims, meaning that you put more emphasis and you put more effort in celebrating the days of the non-Muslims before you put the strength and effort to celebrating the days of Islam, which Allah has made for us. And we should also thank Allah for fasting Ramadan and to making the Hajj to the sacred house. Then the Shaykh goes on and he brings a hadith which is collected by Anas and the Muslim of Imam Ahmed and the Sunan of Nasir, that when the Prophet ﷺ went to Medina, the people of Medina was celebrating their 2 days of celebration. Then the Prophet said that Allah has replaced for these 2 days of yours 2 days which are better, Yawm al-Nahr and Yawm al-Fitr. So he went into Medina and he seen that they was celebrating their day of celebration. Then he said, Allah has took these days away from you, and He gave you 2 days which are better, Yawm al-Adha and Yawm al-Fitr. Yawm al-Nahr and Yawm al-Fitr. But Yawm al-Nahr also means Eid al-Adha, the Eid after the Hajj. Then the Shaykh said it's not permissible to add to these 2 days the resemblance of the Eids of your forefathers. It should not be resembling Christmas and Easter and all these other non-Muslim Eids, these Eids of Shirk and Dalala. We should not resemble the Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha with these types of Eids, because the adding of these Eids and the adding of this to the Eids are not legislated with Allah Ta'ala, but it's a bid'ah in the deen. And it also differs with the Sunnah of our Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and is a resemblance of the kuffar. He said, and if you was to indulge in these Eids, or you indulge in the memorials that they be having, and you indulge in the different days of celebration that they have, or that you indulge in the celebration of the 7th day like the Christians do, then all of this is contrary. This is not from the Sunnah of Islam. This is not from the Sunnah of Islam, but rather this is the action of Jahiliyyah. And that is a blind following of the non-Muslim nations that came before you. The non-Muslim nations that came before you, this is a blind following of them. If you was to ask your non-Muslim relative, well, why do you always celebrate Christmas when you really don't know the meaning of it? Or why do you celebrate Easter? The first thing they're going to tell you is that this is how I was brought up. This is how my parents raised me, and I always had it. Why do you celebrate birthdays not knowing the actual intent behind birthdays? They will all tell you that this is what I grew up upon. So that's why the Sheikh said this is blind following of the nations of the non-Muslims and the nationalists. And this also is from the nationalists, the people who are pro-black or pro-white or pro-Arab or pro-whatever, from the strange nationalism that's in the Ummah now. This is strange. The Sheikh said, Dulu Garabiyya, the strange nationalists. And other than that, then Shaykh said, and other than these type of things, this stuff is like that. This is what it is. Then Shaykh brings a narration, which is in a hadith narrated by Ibn Umar, the Muslim of Imam Ahmed, and the Sunan of Abi Dawud, that the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever imitates the people, then they are of them. And this hadith does not just mean just belief, but it also means in the speech and in the dress. Then the Shaykh brings another narration, when the Prophet ﷺ said that the best speech is the book of Allah and the best guidance is the guidance of the Messenger ﷺ. And the most evil of affairs are newly invented matters, and all newly invented matters is a going astray. So the Shaykh basically tells us what are the Eids, and that is, let's say, in the Sunnah, and he also say that we should not make the Eids like the Eids of the people that came before us, and we should not indulge in these celebrations of memorials, and we should not indulge in celebration of the Eid of the Christians, which is the 7th day. And all of this is not from Islam, and rather this is the actions of the people of ignorance, and this is the blind following of the non-Muslim nations that came before us, which we all can bear witness to that, based on if we ask our mother or our grandparents if they're still alive, ask them why do you celebrate this, that, and other, and they will always tell you that this is what I grew up upon. This is blind following. They don't got to know the meaning, they just got to know this is what I grew up on, this is what I'm going to keep doing until the day I die. And this also comes from the strangeness of this nationalism. This comes from the strangeness of that. So this is what I want to present today in this chapter of the book, and I will not. The chapter is kind of long, and I didn't want to go too lengthy with it. But I think that these first 4 paragraphs was very beneficial, and what was presented in these 4 lines that the Shaykh brought is some of the misconceptions which are done during the Eid, and I pray Allah Ta'ala that we all do the Eid according to the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and do it which pleasing to Allah, and not imitation of the Kuffar, and not to make the Eid like the celebrations of the Kuffar, much as Christmas and Easter, 4th of July, and all these other crazy celebrations that the non-Muslim have, which a lot of us don't know the origin behind a lot of these celebrations, but we blind follow. And the Shaykh already said that this is blind following of the non-Muslim nations that came before us. And this is what I want to present today. Anything that I said that was incorrect is for myself and the shaitan. Anything that I said that was correct, all praise due to Allah. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk, wa akhiru da'wana